UK votes to leave the EU. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Charlotte, and this referendum is the biggest moment in UK politics since World War II. 52% of the voters voted to leave the EU and 48% voted to stay. Britain's Prime Minister David Cameron has also resigned because of this vote. He really didn't want to leave the EU. He said in a speech, "The British people have made a very clear decision. I think the country requires fresh leadership. I don't think it would be right for me to try and be the captain." So obviously if the British Prime Minister resigned, this is a very important and controversial issue. The UK's economy will be affected greatly by this decision, and also the fact that the UK is a lot safer when it's a part of the EU. How will this affect you? Well, the property prices in the UK will drop significantly, and it will also be a lot cheaper to visit the UK. This might sound like good news to you, but it is in fact really bad if you had planned to invest in property in the UK. And also, the British pound has dropped to the lowest level against the dollar in more than 30 years. Not only the UK, but this vote will also affect global markets. US stocks like the Dow is expected to fall more than 500 points. There will be a new British Prime Minister by October, and many are leaning toward the former London Mayor Boris Johnson. Former British PM Tony Blair also is unhappy with the decision, saying that he was deeply saddened by it. On to another perspective, Donald Trump also spoke up about the ordeal. He said that the UK's vote to leave the European Union was a great thing. He also said that Obama made a mistake when he tried to convince the UK to stay in the EU. So basically, he's kinda trash talking Obama and congratulating the UK on this decision. And if Donald Trump congratulates you, you know you f***ed up. Now, there are many in the UK that are saying that this vote was won on false promises and the campaigns were deceitful. This vote is not legally binding. Even though there was a referendum, that doesn't mean that the UK has to leave the EU. There's actually something that needs to be invoked before that can happen. It's called Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, and it must be implemented before the UK can leave legally. Article 50 has never been tested, but it has been in force since 2009. It allows governments to notify intent to leave the EU, then negotiations will begin. If no negotiation can be reached, membership will cease 2 years after invoking Article 50. An announcement will be made at the meeting of the European Council on June 27th, which could lead to invoking Article 50. If this does come to pass, it will take at least 2 years to fully leave the EU. What do you guys think about this? I know we've got some fans from the UK. I'm sure you've got something to say about this decision because it affects everyone. Why don't you let me know in the comments down below. Okay guys, that is all for now. Make sure you follow IO on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow me on Snapchat at Charlotte Dobre for some behind the scenes snaps at the studio. And maybe click one of these 2 videos over here to keep watching IO.